Well, we are back at it today. I ended up having that procedure done to my leg here yesterday afternoon, and we're going to try and finish up this 9320. We have to hook up the front axle and the rear axle. We have to hook up the lube line to both of them and the brake lines to them. We need to go around and torque the wheels, the inner wheels, and then we could put the dual hub on all four corners and then bring the duals in, get it loaded with oil, and we've obviously got to put the PTO on as well. So that's what we're going to get working on here right now. Jared, he is putting a wiper motor in this 8320, trying to get that going. He's got all of his lights on there, and that stuff is done. And other than that, this tractor's about wrapped up as far as getting stuff going on it with lights and wipers and every other damn thing. So we better get to it here on this 9320. Well, we've got this PTO ready to go into place, so we're going to try to get that in there. I might have to wait until some help gets around here, but it's basically got to go right in there. We've got 3 bolts on each side that bolt it into place, and then we've got a couple of flat bars that go along the bottom that take it up front and hook it into the main frame there. Well, we've got this bolted in place. We've got to put the sidebars on and obviously hook everything up. I've got the 6 bolts in, 3 on each side. However, I'm going to take one out at a time, and I'm going to anti-seize them and put them back in. So at least we've got it on there. Again, we've got to put the 2 bars on there, and then we will be good to go. Start hooking hoses up, and yeah. Well, we are getting down to the last few steps here of getting this 9320 back together. We've got the PTO assembly all put into place. Nathan is getting the drive shaft or the power shaft hooked up to it. We've got our lines all hooked up. We've got our SCVs, well, for the most part, plugged back in. We've got to hook this guy up. Looks like we've got 2 more hoses left there to hook up. And I just pulled the filter out of the bottom of the transmission here. That sets right in there. There is some garbage inside there that I have to clean out yet, but we'll kind of show you what this filter looks like. There it is right here, and we have a lot of material on that screen there. You can kind of see it flaking off on the bench. Now we've got all of this metal material from that brake disc, or the pressure plate like type thing there that deteriorated on the front axle. So we're gonna hit this with some brake clean, and we're gonna clean out what we can inside the transmission. Now we can get some oil on her and fire it up. Once we get it fired up, then we can put our we'll end up putting our dual hubs on and bringing the duals in and whatever else like that. So in the meantime, I better get that transmission cleaned out, and we can get some oil on it. Well, Nathan's got some oil in this, so we'll go ahead and start it up, and we'll see how it responds to everything here. Well, we had to hook the battery charger up because they were working on the lights yesterday, and the batteries are a little weak. Maybe they'll fire now. It appears that Andy did not tighten that one up, Nathan. It appears that someone screwed up.
It's just a loose thing, it's not broken.
Actually, I think Andy might have tightened that one. I think somebody might have taken that apart. No?
Nope.
Here, Timothy. Here, you've got my pressure. Will your pressure wrench fit that?
Probably not.
Oh, sorry about that. Not that one. geez, and they're all fucked up with fucking. Oh, that's nice. Well, we just have to top off the transmission with oil. We ran it at high idle for a second, but once I jumped out and realized the transmission was low, I figured it had pumped some to the differentials already. So we'll get some more oil in there, top it off, and then let it run at high idle again until the oil maintains the level it needs to be, and then we'll be sure that the oil would have pumped to the differentials. The brakes worked right off the bat. They held immediately. We thought we were going to have to bleed them. We did not have to do that. And I tried holding the tractor in place with the brakes on, and it really held itself pretty good, didn't she, Nathan? Nathan's not too happy with me for doing that, are you? You don't care. Alrighty, well, get some oil in there. I'll go get the hubs if you want to let me get, well, I can go, I'll go out the other door. Okay. Well, there we go. We got this project done, and as you can see, we've got a little snow on the wheels. The duals and everything that we took off the tractor I put outside, and we got a couple of inches of snow here so far today, but that's all we've gotten. And we're going to roll this out in the morning, then we're going to bring the chopper in and finish that up. We've got that blower bracket to put on it, and some other things to do to it, and then we'll be able to get building some truck bodies here, I hope. So this job here cost, well, it was $11,225 for all of the parts. That included the parts for the bearings on both axles. The bearings and the cups and whatever else like that for both axles was right around $2,100 to $2,200 in that range, and then the rest of the parts were the brake parts. We ended up putting some new bolts in. We had 40 of them. We replaced 40 bolts that bolt the hub to the axle, so we had an additional cost there. And then with the $700 or $800 for the blower motor, you could say we put 12 grand in the parts into this old girl. Now I know I get some questions on, hey, how much would it cost for the dealer to do it? Well, it costs us probably just as much money to do this work ourselves as it does the dealer to do it. So we can't do all of this work. We do what we can. We just try to stay busy, and some of this stuff we do have to farm out. So sometimes you're robbing from Peter to pay Paul, and that's basically all we're doing, is we're just keeping busy, really. So like I said, we're going to bring the chopper in next. We can roll this out the door here in the morning. And Jared ended up getting the rebuild kit for the engine on this tractor. That's sitting right in that box right there. Is about $8,000 worth of stuff that he's putting into the engine on this tractor. He just brought the 4450 in. This has been married to a manure pump for, it's been 3-4 months anyway. And the reason why it's been married to it is it had a bad tie rod, a broken tie rod on this side. They tied it up into place, got it put on the manure pump, and that's where we left it. We ended up doing an oil change on it while it was on the manure pump. But Jared's got the tie rod on it fixed. There's this one on this right side here. He's got that on there now. This tractor needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but other than that, it should be painted. But that's not going to happen this year. Now, this 8110, it's unfortunate that the engine tossed its cookies because the tractor is, it's kind of wore out. The cab is anyways. The fender, it needs a set of fenders on it. The cab is all rusted out. We ended up buying a used cab for it. We were going to put some sheet metal into it, but that's just not going to happen. We ended up finding a used cab that came off of an 8410, and it is in immaculate condition. A friend of mine's going to truck that into us here in the next couple weeks. So we'll get the engine done on it, roll it outside, get it washed up. We'll have to, well, I shouldn't say we have to. We're going to have to pull the exhaust, and we won't have the hood on it yet. We'll maybe take the alternator and stuff off the back of this so that we can carefully lift the cab off in there. But at any rate, we don't want to break the window on the way out or the way in. These cabs can be taken on and off with leaving that stuff there, but the exhaust has got to come off that side of the tractor anyway. So yesterday I had that procedure done to my leg, which I had varicose veins removed. I was able to video it, but I was only able to video the portion where he was pulling the veins out of my leg, and it's really not anything that anybody would want to see. So I think we're going to leave it at that. Maybe I'll put it in a Instagram short or something like that, but it's nothing that anybody wants to see. So when I had the procedure done to my right leg, I kind of explained how it was done, and it's basically removing varicose veins, and they use a laser. So there's the main trunk line that goes down through your leg, and that's what he kind of, I guess, I don't know if you'd call it cauterizing or not, but they sealed that vein off with the laser. And when they went, in order to get into that vein, they went into the vein well, down around near my knee, and they went up as far as my groin. They went in with a large gauge needle right into the vein, and then they fished through, it was hard plastic or something. They fished that through the vein up to, just right above my femur. And then they used that thicker piece of plastic that followed the vein. They used like a catheter tube. Then they fished that over the top of that heavy, thicker piece of plastic, and they used that catheter tube to run the laser through. And all the laser is it's on a little tiny wire. It's maybe a 20 gauge or a 22 gauge wire that they fished up through that catheter tube, and the laser isn't any bigger than the ballpoint tip on a pen. And then he turned the laser on, and as he pulled the laser out through the vein, he was able to seal that vein shut. He watched it with like a sonogram like type thing, and he pulled that laser all the way down through the leg. And then I didn't start videoing until he started pulling the branches out of the lower part of my leg from below my knee. On my right leg, they came out in pieces only about a half an inch long. They were quite a bit bigger, but the veins that came out of my left leg, some of them were about this long. And he uses a local anesthesia, so I don't feel anything, but I'm awake during this procedure. And then he marked, before the procedure, I stood up and he marked the vein with a Sharpie pen where the veins kind of stuck out, swelled out of the leg. And then once I got up on the table there, he could go down through after when he was ready to take them out, and he was able to put little incisions in, cut the vein, and then pull the veins out in pieces. Now I have an ace bandage wrap on my leg from about from here, I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, all the way down to my ankle. I'm going to be able to take that off tomorrow morning, and then I have to wear this stocking for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. I've got a checkup on Wednesday of next week, so I'll probably be told that I don't have to wear it after that. So he told me I could resume normal activities, and that's what we are doing. So with that being said, I don't think any of you guys want to see the vein removal. Maybe I'll put that on Instagram, or if I get enough comments here, maybe I'll just make a quick short, and we'll put it somewhere. But with that being said, that is going to do it for this video. I want to thank you for watching, and we will catch you at the next video.